Greetings, my fellow Wastelanders. Kato here. In this video, I'm here to help you find all the unique weapons in the DC Wasteland. While we go down the list, thanks to the Fallout wiki, I will be able to tell you what makes these weapons unique besides their name. I'll try my best not to spoil too much for you, allowing you to obtain these weapons in your own way. We begin with the Zhu-Rong Chinese pistol, located in Falls Church in an office building called LOB Enterprises. Once inside, you are looking for a locked office that has a locked suitcase on its desk. Even though this unique Chinese pistol does the same damage as the original and has a slower fire rate, its multiplier for a critical hit has been increased, and the rounds fired from it will now catch the enemy on fire. And if you score a critical hit when you kill something, they have the potential to explode. This effect adds entertainment value despite its severely low base damage. On the complete other side of the spectrum, you may be looking for a pistol with a bit more stopping power. The Blackhawk Scoped 44 may be just what you need. For those not informed, Agatha is a kindly old lady that lives out in the middle of nowhere, being southeast of Paradise Falls. She sends you on a quest to acquire the last remaining violin in the DC Wasteland, and initially rewards you with something that is not a weapon. To get the gun, you must deliver her some sheet music. There's two that I know of. One can be found all the way over in the Roosevelt Academy, or Vault 92 in the men's dorm. This howitzer of a handgun is fully capable of dishing out more damage than your standard sniper rifle, the only downside being it uses 44 rounds. Sydney's 10mm Ultra submachine gun is not only a mouthful to say, but is amazingly in the possession of someone named Sydney, who can be found in the National Archives. Along with an approximate 20% damage increase, this handheld fusillade has an increased magazine size, from the original 30 rounds to 50. There are several ways to acquire this weapon, and yes, killing her would be an obvious choice. I leave it at your discretion. For those looking for a decent scattergun, the Kneecapper might be more your style. This can be found in Girdershade, on one out of the whole two who live there. Like a standard sawed-off shotgun, the Kneecapper has no critical hit multipliers. However, the damage has been increased by 50%, and even though you have to reload every 2 shots, you probably won't have to in a 1-on-2 situation. While we're on the subject of close-range firearms, the terrible shotgun can be found in Evergreen Mills, on the back of a jolly fellow named Smiling Jack. This combat shotgun's raw damage has been increased from 55 to 80. And if you want to get technical, from 6.1 to 8.9 per pellet. This weapon also holds on to its 12-shot magazine size, making this weapon well worth killing a few raiders. Looking for an automatic rifle? Well, I'm sorry to say, but the Xuanlong is the only choice, if you don't have any of the expansions. The process of getting this unique Chinese assault rifle begins at the Museum of Technology. On 3 of the wall-mounted terminals, there's a little puzzle you have to complete in order for the weapon to appear in the game. After you finish terminal jumping, you will find the gun in a place called Drury Street Metro Station. The Xuanlong is easy to maintain and has a little bit more damage per hit. The rounds it can hold has also been increased from 24 to 36. Demoralizing the enemy at long range? You're going to want the Victory Rifle. This can be found in a shack near Rockbreaker's Last Gas, and you are going to need maximum lockpicking skill to get it. At the cost of having its critical chance reduced, this rifle is twice as durable, now having a chance to knock your enemy over on a critical hit. You know, it would actually be more of a challenge to find out where this weapon wouldn't be useful. Sniper or not, this weapon is good for anyone's arsenal. The second sniper rifle, called the Reservist's rifle, can be found at the Dickerson Tabernacle Chapel. This weapon is in the hands of a trained sniper. Just try not to take cover behind a car. The unique part about this sniper rifle is that its magazine has been decreased from 5 to 3. However, its fire rate has been increased by about 50%, and the AP costs in VATS have also been reduced. If you have no problem reloading constantly, this gun can give you some enjoyment at any range, as well as skull fragments. Have you been to the Republic of Dave? If not, this is where old Painless can be found. There's numerous ways to acquire it, all of which are at Dave's expense. This is a unique hunting rifle with a base damage increase from 25 to 30, and only one of very few non-scoped rifles with 0 weapon spread, which means if your skill is at 100, outside of VATS you will hit exactly what you are aiming at. Saving the best for last when it comes to rifles, we end the small guns section with Lincoln's Repeater, which can be found in the Museum of History within the lower levels. This rifle is great in tipping the scales of battle. Despite using 44 Magnum ammunition, it has its own unique model, can be repaired with standard hunting rifles, an increased critical hit multiplier, does the same max damage as a sniper rifle, but costs less AP and VATS to fire, and just like old Painless, it has 0 weapon spread. If you find yourself with a good stockpile of 44 Magnum rounds, this rifle can make you near unstoppable. We now move on to energy weapons, starting with the laser pistols. There's a total of 3 you can acquire, and we're starting with Smuggler's End, which is in the Citadel, inside of Elder Lion's quarters. There's nothing too incredibly special about this laser pistol, except for a base damage increase from 12 to 18, and its inventory weight has been reduced from 3 to 2. The second small arms laser is Colonel Autumn's laser pistol. This weapon is available to you just before you activate Project Purity. unless you had forgotten how to loot things somewhere. If you do not have the Broken Steel expansion, this weapon will have a damage decrease from 12 to 10. However, it will now be fully automatic. If you do have the expansion, it's pretty much identical to Smuggler's End, doing 18 damage instead of the regular 12. The only difference being its inventory weight, which had gone back up to 3. Both of these pistols are powerful, but when you have all of the expansions, they're not very diverse. The third unique laser pistol is one called Protectron's Gaze, and you can receive it from the quest The Superhuman Gambit, by helping the goofy-looking guy in the robot suit in Canterbury Commons. Unlike the previous 2 laser pistols, this one is unique. Though its ammunition capacity and critical hit multiplier have been decreased, its single beam is now split into 5, each beam doing 4.8 damage for a maximum of 24. Basically, you'll have a single-handed laser shotgun. In the quest you receive in Canterbury, there is actually 2 unique weapons, but you may only receive 1. The other being a melee weapon, which is also just as effective in battle. Choose wisely. In the realm of annoying children, also known as Little Lamplight, you can find the unique Wazer Wifle. Just keep an eye out for one of the kids in a ball cap with what looks like a laser rifle on his back. This one's damage has been increased from 23 to 29, and its ammo capacity has also been increased from 24 to 30. The main selling point for this weapon is that it has the highest durability of all laser firearms. Efficiency and turning foes to ash? Make sure you grab this one. And obviously, no, you can't kill him for it, at least without mods. A321's Plasma Rifle. To obtain this, you must find Rivet City and start a quest with a man named Dr. Zimmer. After completing this arduous quest, your reward will be the Plasma Rifle and maybe even a perk, depending on your choices. In the vanilla version of Fallout 3, this is the only unique plasma weapon in the game, and for good reason. The Plasma Rifle's already high base damage has been increased from 45 to 50, which is on par with sniper rifles, and its critical hit multiplier has increased from 2 to 2.5, and it has slightly more durability than the original. Few things are as satisfying as reducing your enemies into piles of goo, and with this plasma rifle, the chances are higher. What better way to terrorize the wastes than with big guns? We begin with Eugene, the unique minigun. You guys know the story of Rapunzel? It's kinda like that, but Rapunzel got severely wounded, and the rest of her crew is stuck on top of a hotel. The quest to enable you to get this gun is for Riley's Rangers, and I believe there's about 6 ways in order to acquire this weapon. But I'll tell you, Riley can be found in Underworld. Eugene's base damage has been increased by 33%. It sounds bigger, but it's really just 5 to 7. And its durability has been increased by 50%. A quick way to rid the world of your foes, and steadily reduce your cache of 5mm rounds. When it comes to unique fire-based weapons, your choices are somewhat limited between the Zhu-Rong pistol and the Burnmaster. This unique flamethrower is found in the subway tunnels between Falls Church and the Mason District. Look for a door with a terminal outside. It has the same damage over time as a standard flamer, but here's the cool part. You know the Pyromaniac perk? Increases base damage of fire weapons? This flamer has it passively already. Its base damage is increased from 16 to 24 because of this effect, but sadly it will not stack if you grab the Pyromaniac perk yourself. Regardless, there's nothing quite like a fiery cleansing. A unique Gatling laser is for sure a way to make Fox feel a little envious. Vengeance can be found in the Deathclaw Sanctuary. Make sure you're prepared to retrieve this one. When you have the urge to rapidly remove your enemy's limbs, this is by far going to be your top choice. Out of all the automatic weapons in the vanilla game, Vengeance is the one that has the highest damage, which has increased from 8 to 11 per shot. Cutting down the opposition has never been so easy. The unique missile launcher, called the Miss Launcher, is in Fort Independence, the Outcast's base of operations. If you had wished for something similar to a grenade launcher, you're going to want this one. Instead of firing a missile at full velocity, this weapon fires in an arc, with an almost identical range to the Fatman. Being the missile fuel is not used in the launch, it has gone directly towards its explosive power, which has been increased from 150 to 200. I do not recommend using VATS when firing this weapon, as it will fall short of your target unless you are firing from a higher point, at which case there will be more bounce. And being it's not round, it will not land where you want it to, but you will have more control over this in first person. If anything, it's excellent practice for learning to use a Fatman. Nothing screams "I win the apocalypse" like the experimental MIRV. You can unlock this in the National Guard Depot after finding all 5 of the Keller family transcripts. I will not tell you exactly where they all are, however I will give you 5 1-second snapshots. The weapon itself borders the ridiculous, the ludicrous even, as it is a unique Fatman that fires 8 mini-nukes at once. Never has the chance of winning against an onslaught been so high, neither has the chance of suicide. It is recommended that you save all your mini-nukes for this outrageous super weapon. Be careful with this one. The final weapon in this list is the Firelance, All those yellow dots are the possible locations it can be. In other words, you can only get this weapon through random encounters. If you wish to have this map for your own reference, go to the Fallout wiki and search random encounters. This gun is completely justified being random, as it takes alien power cells, it has a 100% chance for a critical strike, and only does a little less damage than the alien blaster, from 100 to 80. If you don't have the urge to get the MIRV, and have a little bit of patience, this is your I-win weapon for any difficult situation. And there you have it, all of the unique guns in the DC Wasteland. This is only part 1, I will be covering the melee weapons next. This is Katogenesis, thanks for watching. May you wander the wasteland like you own it.